Recorded exclusively for Radio 1, that's David Bowie from the Tin Machine era. Right, time for some more top international celebrity questions. Damon was going to ask you a question about your embracing of commercialism in the 1980s, but he bottled out.
Hello, this is Damon. Happy birthday, David. Hope you're enjoying your own This Is Your Life. I've got lots of questions, but one which I've always wanted to ask you is why you've never written a musical. You've always sort of almost written musicals. Anyway, happy birthday.
I've written 100 musicals in my head, but the thing that always puts me off is actually going along and watching a musical. They're always so bloody awful that I never actually finish one off. It always ends up on Broadway, and that's the most depressing thing about it all. I don't know, I had in my mind there must be some way of working a travelling musical, something that works in rock arenas, and I guess that may be something that is maybe a last working ambition that I would like to actually accomplish without it slipping into that awful saccharine thing of Broadway.
So Ian McCulloch asked you a little bit earlier on, David, about excess, and I think that's probably the subtext of Sean Ryder's question too.
Hi David, it's Sean from Black Grape. Are you still enjoying yourself, dude? Happy birthday, Dave. You're a cool dude, man. Big time.
Oh, that's very nice. Thank you very much. Love the band. I really do. They're a very exciting band, I think. Yeah, I do enjoy myself, and I enjoy myself probably within the realms of more moderate existence.
I have to say to you, one of my favourite documentary pieces that's ever been made about you is the Cracked Actor documentary, which I think is a magnificent piece of work. I mean, it did look like you'd swallowed a chemistry set, didn't it? The scenes in the back of the car there. I mean, what sort of combination of drugs were you taking those days? Did it look like one of Elvis's prescriptions?
My drug intake was absolutely phenomenal. I was seriously addicted. Cracked Actor is extremely painful for me to watch because I know what my interior life was like, and I was unbelievably screwed up. I can't tell you how bad life was for me, you know, and I guess it's one of the ironies of having that kind of success is that everything on a material level couldn't have been better. My music was going down really well. I mean, I had a wonderful audience at that time. Throughout America, it was quite phenomenal. And everything else about my life, about me and about how I felt about myself was just awful. Absolutely the worst. It was just one of the worst periods of my life, that whole mid-70s period.
I tell you what, though, I bet you had one of the most exciting bathroom cabinets in the Western Hemisphere, didn't you?
So I've been told, yeah. My old mate, my old mucker, Eno, always said it's the thought process is something, it's the aeroplane that you can crash and actually walk away from it. I don't put myself on the edge physically anymore, because I like this old frame of blood and guts, and I want it to remain around for just a little longer.
Perhaps long enough to see some of the young contenders of 1997 really come into their own. I'm talking about Placebo, who you've championed for a long time, David, and I think we've got a word from them.
Hi, David. This is Brian from Placebo. Now that we've done around 10 gigs together and that we've opened for you several times, I would like to know when we're going to actually get a chance to collaborate on a recording, because that would make us very, very happy.
Thanks, Brian. I think they're a wonderful band. What Brian doesn't know, in fact, is I'd love to produce Placebo. I don't know why, but there's a lot about Brian and the way he works and what he's doing and his single-mindedness that really reminds me of me when I was his age. I think he's an extremely talented writer. I think his potential hasn't been met yet. I guarantee that they're going to be a major band.
David, you were, of course, very famously and very seriously ripped off by your management in the early days, and I mean, you should be a phenomenally wealthy man, and I assume you're not. I mean, you probably don't have to worry where the next bag of chips coming from, but, you know, I doubt you own your own sort of bijou cluster of islands in the Caribbean, do you? I
would say that I'm rich, not wealthy.
You are also, I believe, the first artist to float yourself on the stock market.
Like an air balloon.
Yeah, I mean, what do investors get? I mean, are they looking for sort of used underwear, or are they going to get a slab of royalties?
I quite seriously never talk about my financial business.
God, miserable guess.
Okay. It's a nice story to have out there, though.
So let's end today, David, with a couple of tracks for the fans, Aladdin Sane and Quicksand. That's a double whammy if ever there was one, isn't it?
I'm so pleased that I thought about doing Quicksand. It was somebody in the band that said I should do it. I'd forgotten all about it. And since I've done it for you guys, I've started using it in the set now. I'm using it on stage because I've forgotten it. It's a really lovely song. I really like that one. And I'm really knocked out that Smith is doing it with me. It's got Smith and Jones together at last.